Hey people, alright, here's another one of my educational videos. Got a lamp over here, and the thing kind of fell off the table, and you can see, let me zoom in over here, you can see how, I just want to show you beforehand, don't be a dumbass. Make sure that your power cord is not plugged in when you're working on this stuff, or you'll be dead and you won't be able to watch this video. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, so you can see how when this thing fell, it kind of broke the lamp holder or socket, whatever you want to call it. Now, most people would say, okay, so here's a nice lamp, and I'm going to throw this in the garbage now because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix it. I don't want to fix it. I don't want to learn how to fix it. So they're just going to throw this in the trash and go out and spend money to buy something new. You don't want to do that. Don't be a dumbass. Went down to Home Depot. Home Depot's a huge ripoff, obviously. Oops, I didn't say that. Okay, so I ended up buying this lamp holder, light socket, whatever you want to call it. The problem was that Home Depot did not sell this wonderful plastic thing made in China. I think it's made in China, made in Hong Kong, wherever it is. They didn't sell this, and they did not sell just the lamp holder. They only sold something. I'm going to open this up now. They only sold something with a light switch. I don't need a light switch because I've already got a light switch on the lamp, but I also didn't want to throw this thing away. So if I don't want the light switch, I can unscrew this little knob and act like I don't need the light switch. Okay, so what we've got here, this is what came with let me get this lamp out of the way. This is what came with the light holder, lamp holder. You get this in the package. You take the bottom off. There's the screw. You see this screw, and that screw is going to be used to mount. You could do this on a lamp. This is the exact same thing, whether it's on a lamp, well, this is a lamp, whether it's on a stand-up lamp or a table lamp like this. This screw, you can see how it's threaded there. That would end up screwing onto the shaft, and your wire would come through here, and then you would wire the wires to, you connect the wires to the socket. Okay, so you've got your cover, you got the inside is the switch and the actual socket. You've got your outer piece, and then you've got your cardboard insulation. So if you do this right, the wires, well, you need this cardboard insulation. The wires are going to be wrapped around here, and if you didn't have this cardboard here, if you screw up, you could end up putting the wires against the metal and either shorting them out and blowing your circuit, or if one of the wires is touching the metal, you could kill yourself if you touch this thing to turn the lamp on. So you need to take some time. You got to be careful. Don't be an idiot. Be careful, be patient, go slow, use a visor, use a magnifier if you need to. Make sure you can see what you're doing, and don't kill yourself. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, I think you can see that. It's kind of hard to see what you can see because I can't see what you can see. There's a screw over here, so I'm going to go and remove the screw. I don't know if you can see that in the video. You can see the screwdrivers on there. Okay, normally on lamps you can pull, you can't always pull the wire out all the way, but you can usually pull out some wire. Luckily for me, I can pull out a lot of wire. Makes it easier to work on. It's like 3 in the morning, and I don't want to freak out the neighbors and dump this lamp on the floor, so I'm being really careful. Alright, so I'm going to, hold on a second. Alright. I thought it might make sense to put on my glasses so I could see what the hell I'm doing. Alright, I'm take the screwdriver and I'm going to put it on this screw, which is really the same thing as the screw on here. It's just to hold your socket to usually a stud or a base. We'll see in a minute what this is. I don't know if this is screwed on or if it's just, well, it looks like it's screwed on, but we'll find out in a minute. Okay, you can see that I'm turning this thing, and as I'm turning, something's happening. So, yeah, it's threaded. Okay, so that's a good sign. This is how you replace a light socket, a lamp holder, whatever you want to call it, on your lamps or lights or ceiling lamps. You can see this was well made. This was well done. The wires are perfectly wrapped around here, and they were smart. You can tell that this was not just a half-ass thing. They put solder on the tips of the wire so that they wouldn't fray, they wouldn't separate, and it would make a nice connection. Probably very easy for the production line people to assemble this. Okay, let me get a Phillips screwdriver just so it doesn't slip while I'm doing this. I could use a flat blade. So I'm going to be removing the two screws. You know, it's AC. I don't think you need to worry. AC, you don't have to worry about, even though they want you to worry about which wire is on there for power and neutral. You don't really need to on a lamp. Unless you've got grounding problems in your house, you shouldn't have to worry about this. So I'm just going to take out the two screws. Sorry if the lighting sucks. I'm going to remove the two screws, and when I remove the two screws, I could have just yanked the wire out, but by removing the screws, I was able to keep the nice, clean wire that's already soldered on the tips. Very well done. Okay, so I'm going to remove this broken ceramic. The idea of the ceramic, then, it can hold more heat, it can handle more heat because this lamp is kind of closed in, and it can also, it's not metal, so you won't, you shouldn't be killing yourself, shocking yourself. So we're going to get that out of the way. I'm going to get rid of that piece, and then the base. So I'm going to be really careful here because I don't want to ruin the wires, which might happen. I just want to be careful trying to remove them from the hole so that I can make things a little easier for me. Maybe I'll remove one wire at a time and try to get my fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to jam these down the hole. Alright, I pulled that off. Okay, so we're almost there. Now I'm going to take the base, and I'm going to unscrew the screw a little bit more to get it. Make sure you don't jam the screwdriver into your hand. You don't want to do that. The screw is really tight. And lovely, I don't have the right screwdriver. Now I have the right screwdriver. Okay. A little bigger, little, oh boy. There we go. Remember, like all my videos say, take your time, be patient. Learn what you're doing. Hole's a little tight. I'm going to jam the wires through there. Be careful you don't rip the insulation over here. Go slow, take your time. And now I'm going to screw the base on. Now I could do all of this and screw the base on later, but then I would be twisting all the wires in the center. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to screw this on. It's taken a while because the threads are very corroded. And maybe I should have... Oh boy. Let me loosen that. The screw's a little tight. I think the screw could be a little looser, and if not, then I'd like to tighten that a little tighter if I can. If I can't, then I'll just back off a little bit. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you need to be able to access the screw. I don't really like that it's wobbling like that, but that's just why they put the set screw in there. Okay, so alright, I was able to make it a little tighter, not much, but a little bit tighter. I took the set screw out all the way because it was jamming on the bottom over here and getting stuck. So now I'm going to put the screw on the screwdriver. Make sure you don't cross the threads. You want to be very careful when you're doing this. Take your time. Okay, now we're almost done. We have got the base screwed on. The wires are not twisted or messed up over here. I do have some room, like I said, that's all I've got. I've got some room on this thing. So remember, on this unit, the wires went in and they went flat. Well, in this one, the wires go in from the sides. You can see they're going to go in on this screw and this screw. So I'm going to take my screwdriver, kind of supporting it on the table so that I don't damage anything. Take your time. I'm going to loosen both screws. You can see how there's a silver and a gold screw like there was on the other lamp socket or lamp holder. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so I can't really, well yeah I can. The problem is I've got this thing over here. So I need to be able to get my wires on these two screws. I've got some play with the wire where I can turn it around. So for the video, just so we can see what's going on, what I'm going to do, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. I took the screw out all the way. I'm going to separate this a little bit. Separate the wire. Zoom in? Yeah, let me zoom in. Okay. I'm going to wrap the wire around the screw. Being careful. You don't want, that's why this is really nice that it was soldered, because if it's not soldered, then it's going to fray. It's going to be just a mess as you try to screw it in. I'm trying to do this so my hand is not in the way, and that's not working, so hold on a minute. Alright, hopefully that's a little better. As long as you learn, it's the whole point. Education, learn. Okay, so I've got the wire flat. You can see how it's kind of separating over here, which I don't want it to do. I want it to be held together, so I'm going to have to put my hand in the way of the video so I can hold the wire together. What I'm doing is I held the wire, I held my thumb over here. Yeah. Is that showing? Okay. I held my thumb over here and my forefinger on the wire held it together, and then I screwed it in. Now I'm going to go do that with the other thing. Sometimes if I can, if it's easy to remove the screw, you can't always remove the screws, but sometimes it's a lot easier for me if I can remove the screw, just to take the screw out all the way, put it in, wrap the wire around, and then put it in there. That way I don't have to separate. And let's see if I can remove the wire. I mean the screw. Nah, it doesn't. It's going to be more trouble than it's worth. Okay, so I'm just going to separate the wire, and I'm going to put it around the screw as best I can. See, that's why it's best when you can remove the screw. Okay. Can't do that, so the wire is very thick. It doesn't want to go in. It doesn't want to wrap around easy because it was soldered. Slid it in there. Still doesn't want to wrap around easily. Let's get in there with my nail. Get it wrapped around. Okay, we got the screw. Got the wire wrapped around the screw almost. I'm going to try to make it complete. So it's a nice clean job. And hold on. All right, I got the both wires on there, and like I was saying, you know, you've got this cardboard that will go all the way down to the base over here and should protect everything. Let's make sure that that is the case. Let me zoom out a little bit. I don't like this. The insulation over here is a little torn up, but as long as this protects me, I'm okay. So I have to make sure that it protects me. I'm going to slide this thing all the way down. Take your time, go slow. Line this center up with the with your on-off switch. Okay, so we're going across there, and the whole goal is to make sure that this cardboard completely closes over the wire, which it does, so I'm protected, and then this is going to seal into here. It's going to snap into here, so I don't have to worry that much about that wire being exposed. If I did, I was going to take some electrical tape and tape it up, but I don't need to do that. So I'm going to go from the bottom of the lamp where the wire goes through the bottom, and I want to be able to have access to that switch. Now you can see that there's little notches over here, and there's notches on this part. These notches will line up with the notches over here, and it will snap in place and lock in place. You don't want to twist this a lot. There's not a lot of room to be twisting. You could separate the wire from the screws, or you could short it onto this outer plate, which you don't want to do. So I'm slowly going to pull the wire from the bottom to line this up a little better. And it doesn't really want to go anymore. That's about it. That's as far as it's going to go. Okay, so I'm just going to take this thing and I'm going to line it up so that I have access to the switch. I'm going to line these notches up on the thing with the other side, and then I'm going to press and lock this thing in. I'm going to push, get it lined up, and I'm going to push in there. And it should snap into place. And it's in there. It's definitely in there, and it's protected. Hold on. Okay, you might not have one of these. You probably don't even need it. It's just a meter to let you know if you have voltage and shorts. When the thing touches together, there's a short or a connection is made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my probes and stick it on the switch, on the cord. Oop, it's shorting, okay. It's not connected right now. I don't know if the switch is on or off. Because I have two switches on here, like I said. Okay, I'm just making sure that there's absolutely no short, that I'm not going to kill myself. I don't think this is a three-way switch, but we'll just make sure. Still no connection. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one lead and go onto the inside of the switch. No connection, so maybe it's on the other side. No connection. Obviously, the other switch is off. Okay, so just double checking, making sure that everything's safe. Okay, so we've got one connection there. We've got a connection from this part of the cord to the outer part of the lamp. I want to make sure it's not shorting on the outside so I don't kill myself. Let's see if that shut it off. Okay, so that wire is not being switched because it is connected no matter what, which means that the other wire is being switched. Let's make sure it's not shorted out here so I don't kill myself. No short, no short. Now we should have a connection when it goes to the bottom. And when I shut it off, no connection. There we go. And then when I turn it back on, connection. Okay, so we're almost done. All right, we're recording. So the final part of the test, to make sure that I did this, I wanted to make sure that you saw I was using safety practices there to make sure that I didn't kill myself or nothing was shorted out. That's important. It's really important. Visually, there we go. So the lamp is fixed, except for the rip-off 498 for that socket from Home Depot. I could go in here and, well, it's missing some parts. I don't know where they... Oh, it's coming apart even more as I'm doing this. I guess there's more parts on the floor that I didn't see. Okay, so not worth replacing something like this. It's not worth... I mean, it's not worth saving something like this and killing yourself, even though I could glue this. So $4.95, I was able to put this lamp on there. This is how you wire any lamp if you have to replace a socket because your switch isn't working. That's how you would do it. And go out and buy yourself a meter for a couple dollars, or get a little buzzer with a battery and a couple wires so that you can make sure that you don't have shorts on things. You don't want to wire something up and just assume that everything's okay. These wires could easily have slipped while I was connecting this and shorted out, even though there's some protective cardboard in there. So always be safe when you're messing with electricity, and that is how you wire or rewire a new lamp socket or lamp holder onto a lamp.